A couple times a year, I would get this bill, like, for the longest time, I would just completely forget about. It's the personal property tax on my cars, and it runs me about $1,500 a year. It comes out twice a year, around $700 every 6 months, and because it doesn't come out every month, it was never really on my radar. It would just kinda show up, and every time it landed, it kind of wrecked my whole month. I'd be scrambling, moving money around, robbing some other part of my budget to cover it. But here's the part that used to really bug me. I make a pretty decent living. I'm doing pretty good with money. I mean, this is literally the stuff that I do, but this bill would still get me sometimes. And it wasn't because I couldn't afford it, it was because I just wasn't looking at it. So if you've ever had a big bill show up out of nowhere and just punch a hole through your whole month, a car repair, insurance that's suddenly due, Christmas sneaking up on you again, this one is for you because I finally figured out the one simple thing that makes those bills kind of boring. They don't scare me anymore, and I want to show you how it works. So let me back up because I think a lot of people are stuck in this exact spot and they don't even realize it. These bills, the car tax, the insurance, registration, all of it, they feel like surprises. I know the tax is coming. It comes every year, same as it always has. I know my insurance is due. Christmas is in December. It's in December every single year, I'm pretty sure. So none of this is really a surprise. The only reason it felt like one is because I wasn't seeing it coming. It was invisible right up until the day it hit. And I want you to hear really this part because this is the thing that changed everything for me. I didn't have a money problem. I just had a visibility problem. I just couldn't see the bill until it was standing on my porch with its hand out. And think about what that does to you over time. You make good money, but you always feel a little bit behind. The credit card never quite gets back to zero. Some bill is always knocking you off track. And you start to think you're just bad with money, but you're not bad with money. You just can't see what's coming at you. And look, if this is happening to you, I don't want you to feel bad about it because this got me. And I'm somebody that's paid off all my debt. I paid off my house and I do pretty well right now. And this little money leak still gets me every so often. So it's not about being done with money. It's not about making enough. It's just that nobody ever showed us a way to just simply see these bills coming every time and preparing for them. So let me show you mine. The fix is called a sinking fund. A sinking fund is just money you set aside for a time for a big bill that you know that's coming up. That's it. That's really the whole thing. And instead of getting hit with the whole bill at once, you spread it out across all the months leading up to it. So here's how I actually do it. I take what the bill cost me for the year and I divide it by 12. So my car tax runs about $1,500 a year. I divide that by 12 and that comes out to about $125 a month. So now every month I just set aside 125 bucks and by the time that bill shows up, the money's already sitting there. I'm not scrambling around to find $750 out of nowhere anymore. I'm setting aside $125 a month and really barely, I don't even feel it anymore. Now, my car tax actually comes in two chunks during the year, but that doesn't really change anything. The money's already built up and waiting both times. Take what it costs for the year, divide it by 12, and set it aside. I don't do anything fancy with this money. I'm not cash stuffing it into a drawer somewhere. I'm not opening 10 different bank accounts. For me, it's just a number I keep track of. The money sits right there in my account, and I just know that this chunk is already set aside. It has a job. So then the real question is, okay, Steve, well, what bills do I even do this for? And the easiest way to figure that out is to just look back at the last year. What bills hit you that weren't part of your normal monthly spend? For most people, it's the same short list. The car insurance, if you pay it every 6 months, your car registration or taxes, car repairs, because something always comes up. Christmas, birthdays, property taxes, going to the vet, some kind of a yearly subscription for a large purchase. You write those down and each one gets its own little fund. Each one gets its own little monthly piece, and that really is the whole system. By the way, if this is the kind of thing that you want more of, just figuring out what to do with your money in a way that actually makes sense, go ahead and subscribe and stick around. That's pretty much the whole vibe of this channel. Just walking you through all these things that I've actually done over the years to basically purchase my freedom. Now, I'll tell you something because I don't want you to walk away thinking I've got this all perfectly dialed in and you're the only one struggling. Just last month, I got a little lazy with my own budget. I wasn't keeping up with it like I should and let a couple of these categories slip. And sure enough, something came up that I should have had a fund for, and I didn't. So I got caught, and it still happens. And the reason I'm telling you that is because this was never about being perfect. The whole point of the system is that on your good months, it's quietly doing its job in the background so that when you have an off month, and you probably will have off months, it's not a total catastrophe. You've got a little cushion built in. But when this thing is working, I'm telling you, it is the best feeling. That car tax bill that used to wreck my whole month, it now shows up and I don't even flinch. I already knew it was coming. The money is sitting there and I just pay it and go on with my day. And that's really what this is all about. So if you do just one thing after this video, here's the one I'd pick. Today, you just sit down and write out the big bills that you know are coming this year that aren't a part of your normal monthly spend. Don't even worry about the money yet. Just make the list, because you can't plan for what you can't see. And just getting it all out of your head and down on the paper, you'll feel a little lighter already. I promise you will. So look, if you take one thing from all this, let it be this. Those bills that keep ambushing you, they were never really surprises. They were just invisible. And the second that you make them visible, give them a name and a little bit of money each month, they stop being scary. You don't need to make more money to fix this. You don't need to be perfect at it. You just need to see it coming. But I want to go off the script here just a little bit and tell you a little insider tip that I do with my sinking fund money. I said earlier that I keep it in my account, but I don't normally do that anymore. That's what I did originally to keep it simple. But over time, I realized that I can take that sinking fund money and put it into a high yield savings account. Right now, high yield savings accounts usually are paying roughly in the area of 3%. I put about a little over $1,000 a month in a sinking fund. That covers property taxes and insurance and all sorts of other bills that I have. I can't even think off the top of my head what they are. Like I said, I got like 10 of them. Can't even name one. Anyway, so I put about $1,000 a month in there, and it covers all these different things that are coming up over time. And it earns a little bit of interest in that high yield savings account so that, you're making a little bit of money. It's not just sitting there. I feel like that's kind of a waste. So if you can funnel some money, if it's a substantial amount of money you're setting aside every month, think about putting it into a high yield savings account. That'll have you earning a little bit of extra money, and you don't want to turn down free money. But anyway, if you want to get more of this, getting control of your money stuff, I've got a whole series where I walk through how I dug myself out of that and where I got myself to where I am now. It'll pop up on the screen here somewhere, or you can find it down in the description. So again, my name is Steve. I hope you got some value and some hope out of this video. Please like and subscribe, stick around, and I'll see you in the next one.